Hello, I'm host Derek. Welcome to Talking Famous People. And somebody in the room was being really pessimistic a little while ago and saying that everything was all fucked up forever. I disagree. And Jay was giving me a little pushback on that, but I don't think he was siding 100% with that guy. So, if I have to give you two sandwiches, which one do you identify more with? Life is a shit sandwich and it's always lunchtime, or life is a sandwich made of delight and pudding?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Um,
What question?
It's a question that says, which axiom do you agree with more? Number one, life is a sandwich made with delight and excitement. Or number two, life is a shit sandwich and it's always lunchtime.
I would go with option A probably,
I'm not choosing either. I
but
think
I feel
that
like it could be
life is
both for
exciting
me.
shit.
I want to
What
aim my
what if
brain option A basically because you have to make those things true for yourself through your perception. So,
what
um,
if what if it's always lunchtime and life is a shit sandwich, but you like shit? I think it's exciting shit.
Okay,
If you're like the scat man, come.
if you're gonna pick two adjectives to describe your life, which two adjectives do you want to describe your life? I just, without thinking about it, picked something and exciting. What did I say?
delightful.
Delightful and exciting. Okay, I don't know if those are my two or not, but if you were to pick two adjectives to describe your life, you can only pick two as your main descriptors. What two would you choose as an ideal, not as a description of how it is?
Adjectives.
Predicate adjectives to be more precise, if you want to be grammar particular.
Mm,
I'd keep exciting. I'd probably get rid of delightful.
Yeah, me too.
Is this as an ideal? Like, would you like it to be?
Yeah, if I had to pick two adjectives what I would like my life to be, I'd keep exciting. But
Adventurous and vibrant.
adventurous and vibrant. So, does vibrant
Ah,
imply that
always
individual
lunch.
experiences have a lot of emotional impact?
Things having intensity, richness, diversity.
Okay, so we got a
Um,
vibrant, we got
yeah,
a, what was the first one you said? Adventurous and
adventurous,
vibrant. What do you think? Jay,
dynamic. You know.
It's really hard for me to answer. I can't come up with something I like. I don't know. Like I'm trying to find what I want, but I don't know what I want.
I think,
I would say like
Because you said to choose two adjectives that represent what do you want your life to be, right?
yeah. I think the second one for me is satisfied. Exciting and satisfied.
Yeah. Satisfied would be a good one.
Or satisfying.
I like
Exciting and satisfying.
I like peaceful and enlightening. I think
What kind of an ENTP are you?
A peaceful and enlightened one.
Is it
basically the
broken?
enlightenment part deals with a constant progression of self in some fashion. I think where there's a your whole life gives you you're gathering new perspectives
What's your tri type?
and 714 741. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. I think that's what
What's
that
your
is,
enneagram, Eric?
Taylor. I think a lot of that shit comes down to tri type. It's why, in some ways, Jay and I are more alike on typically determined ENTP qualities. He and I are both, I think, more naturally like NE. a little bit more inny, and you're a little bit more naturally ti in how it expresses. But but you and I are probably more alike because we're the same tri type. I think that matters a lot.
You
Personally,
guys
I
got
find it
eight.
to be a better indicator of things.
You guys are both eight people, right?
Say again?
You guys are both lead with 8. Is that right?
No, we're both
Hey,
7
he
and
leads
3
with
8, but just in a
7.
different order.
Oh, that's right. What about you,
Uh,
Taylor?
I'm an 8, 3, 7.
I mean, what 2 adjectives would you pick?
Oh, I think exciting is certainly one of them, and hmm. I don't know. Everything I keep thinking of is some variation of like, uh, well, he's a thrill seeker.
You already said exciting.
I know. Except that's what I'm saying.
that's why you go satisfying, then you get the whole package.
Okay, exciting and satisfying. The problem is that I think those two are somewhat mutually exclusive.
I know. Well,
So, those two are the ones that I would choose if I thought that they could happen together.
I think they can. Sort of. Sometimes.
You need to
I
go.
think I'll go with easy
That's not
or
exciting.
simple and slow tempo.
So you're not a 3.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm 5.
Anybody in the chat want to chime in on what their adjectives would be?
Elsie says hammer time.
Stanky and Ratchet.
Ratchet.
They didn't really say that. That was my joke. Stanky and Ratchet is how Carolyn's day went, she says. Hammer time? Hammer time, that's one adjective, Elsie.
No, there's
Hammer
no
time
adjective in
esque.
there. Those are noun, both of them.
Well, actually, in that usage, hammer is an adjective and time is a noun.
Yeah, don't tell us about English.
Hammer is a noun.
Normally, in this case, it's modifying time. It's working as an adjective.
Boom.
I don't think so.
I like the exciting adjective too.
You-
I'm having second thoughts on my choices.
Because you don't want it to be redundant. You want to get as much shit out of it as you can, right?
Well, you also want them to be to not cancel each other out and get nothing, like exciting and content.
Exciting and what?
Hence,
Or whatever we said, exciting and content, or
Or
satisfying.
satisfying. Well, see,
Right.
I think that the idea of exciting and satisfying is that your excitement fills you up longer.
yep. You're satisfied by your excitement, I guess.
But when you pick
I think
satisfied, it doesn't matter how you get satisfied because it's what you reach.
How do
That's
you
true.
get satisfied?
So if you're satisfied with excitement, is the same as if you're satisfied with doing nothing.
that's true.
Let's see.
Yes. I guess for me, like peaceful represents like freedom from negativity and like kind of
Who's it?
needless conflict, and then enlightenment just represents like a constant progression of self and self-awareness, self-actualization, understanding of people, the world.
And robes. You get
Being a better
robes.
guitar player. Do what?
robes. You should get robes. If you're anytime enlightenment is in the mix. If I'm pursuing any kind of path that there's any discussion of enlightenment, I want there to be free robes at some point. I think like at level 6 or level 7, you should get a free robe.
Because I mean, it sounds like peaceful and enlightened sounds like monk status, but it's more. Those are more like representative of more than just what you immediately associate those things with, I guess.
It's more about taste in robes.
Sure.
I have an artistic taste in robes.
The thing is, I like that stuff. There was a Zen Buddhist temple near where I went to college, and I would go there and sit meditation fairly often. And they had their special robes, the monks did. That's the robe joke. And I do appreciate that whole vibe a lot. But I think well, it seems to prioritize the present over much.
You prioritize the present over much?
Do I prioritize the present over much?
I couldn't tell if that was what you said or not.
I said Buddhism seems to prioritize the present over much. Like, learn to be sensorily in the moment first, and then intuitively in the moment.
Right.
I don't like that.
Whereas science
No, not science.
basically is the opposite. It's complete left brain. It doesn't regard the present moment whatsoever.
I'm not talking about science, though. I'm talking about, like, just, it could be magical thinking
Oh.
or whatever else. The intuitive's stuck in your head, what the Buddhists call monkey mind. But I view it as
I'm looking for
Eric.
I've got a thread adapter somewhere.
Slam, whack, pow.
There on that. Let this.
I can't find any of my shit.
Voices. Mute button.
Slam Wick Pow. Yo, Taylor.
What?
You might want to mute or something. I don't know.
What?
You might want to mute. Jay,
What do I want to?
what? Am I yelling at you? No, I'm saying you might want to mute it. I don't know if you're aware that it's not muted.
Oh, right. I was.
Okay.
You're just kind of in the back brain,
Right. The hind brain.
not being able to find stuff. It's not like I was saying anything.
The hindquarters. The hindquarters of your mind. When things exist only in the hindquarters of your mind, that's where terror is born.
Oh, yeah. I thought that you were saying that you had my back.
I did. Was maybe. But it doesn't matter now because
Now
your
we're
metaphor dissolves into endless possibilities, as they say. We're talking about something. We had a topic. I think I'm recording something.
Buddhism
aren't I?
is overvaluing on the present moment.
Oh yeah, Buddhists, they love the present. They love the shut off your mind and don't be attached to shit and yada yada yada. And I'm like,
Buddhism
come on,
and negate
you guys are
philosophy.
lazy.
You can't. The whole thing is about not wanting stuff so that you're not disappointed.
Make better
It's-
stuff. Come on.
It's a philosophy of deterioration. Just deteriorate yourself down so that you don't have any pain.
I always saw it as more so like if you're trying to stay in a constant state of like higher consciousness, you can't be every day coming back down into the mundane to have to execute like menial.
Well, we live here. We've all got to put a wallet in our pocket, one butt cheek at a time.
But I mean, like the dudes up on the mountains and stuff that forego like all of that life.
Look, it boils down to this. You fuckers are lazy. I'm putting a handle on some shit over here. Don't come in with your bullshit oneness with the universe stuff. Fucking.
Are you putting your FE? Are you using your FE to stroke my 8?
No, not you specifically. I probably am. I'd say I'm doing a little dusting in that corner of the identity build, maybe, or maybe even adding on a window or something. I don't know. Something
Continue.
along those lines.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Tell them to get their pussy lazy shit out of here.
I don't like Buddhism intellectually. I enjoy people who are Buddhists and their way of being around others. Like I like Mormons too. But I don't like Buddhism's message of opposition to the self, because I'm highly a believer in accountability, beginning with a notion of the individual as a distinct moral agent, not one without anything else, but one with his own fucking accountability.
That's why you're the high priest.
I like that word, accountable. I don't like to be accountable, but I like the idea of accountability a lot. Being accountable is a little different.
Remind me of that video where you talk to that guy. You know, when you're yelling at him, he says, "I don't know, when like some people wanted a refund or something."
No, you mean the Chinese guy?
I don't know. The guy doesn't. You can't see the guy in the video.
Yeah, that's the video you're talking
Like,
about.
sir, you have my fucking money, sir.
Yeah. I like the yelling at people highlights video. It's one of my favorite videos. I can rewatch that over and over again.
How do you guys deal with SE? Like, SE is living in the moment, right?
Sensorily, yeah.
For me, I can never do that.
Sensorily,
It sounds. For me, it's. I can't do that. It seems something that has little outcome, because once that moment is gone, then it's gone. For me, I'd rather do that thing, and instead of living it in the moment, I focus on creating memory of it, so I can enjoy it even afterward.
There's ways to force SE.
What?
You gotta
think
skip
maybe-
SI. You have to skip SI. Anytime you
I mean,
get stuck in SI, you won't do SE.
There's ways to like force it. I think. Have you ever been skydiving?
No, but I've been ziplining.
Right. It's I think that sort of is forces you to deal with it to
Yes. Yeah, but when I'm talking about this, I remember these times, and even when I'm in the moment, I don't really. Yeah, I enjoy them a little bit, but I try to focus more on just creating the memory, so afterwards I can still think of it and enjoy it, and not because if you're only SE about the thing, once you stop it, that's it, it's gone.
Well, skydiving is in particular interesting because, and they told me it would be this way before I did it, that it's too intense for yourself to comprehend, so you don't really remember it very well. Like you might remember more chilled out things. Like I remember snapshots, but it's just too much to fit in my brain, and so it very much is a thing that is mostly, I think, experienced very much so in the moment, forcibly.
Yeah, it's like typical SE, only SE, right?
But I mean, like I tried it to catalog it, but it's just like it's too much
I know what you mean.
to reckon with that particular experience, which is why I brought that up.
Yeah.
It's hard to abstract upon that particular thing, or to
Yeah, it's like
to
it's too
catalog it because you just want to experience it again if you liked it.
I think another way to
It's too
get
extreme.
SE like that is just if you get yourself super exhausted from hardcore exercise. Like if you exercise until you're fucking panting and I mean, that's pure SE. There's no thinking about shit at that point, you know?
Yeah, you're not really going to abstract upon the activity either.
if I'm
Especially-
doing push-ups or
Physically dead from it.
I mean, if I'm exercising or doing push-ups, I'm always thinking about something.
So you have to get yourself exhausted, and then all you're
Yeah.
thinking about is how exhausted you are, and
Yeah.
you're still your brain's still going, but it's going like I have to stop. It's like your brain operates with your breaths, you know.
Yeah, your thoughts don't have the same momentum after that,
Yeah, I
except for
know.
just like, I really need to feel better. I need to stop doing this. I need to get some water. I can't do anything to focus on it. The fact that I'm completely exhausted. I know that feeling.
I sometimes get that feeling when I'm
Exercise.
hungry, super super hungry too. Like tonight, right before I ate dinner, I was thinking, I have to get up. I have to go eat something. And if I can pass out here, I gotta go eat.
Don't
When you
body
when you're
say,
hungry,
isn't that SI though?
you can't think straight.
To
That's
me.
what I'm saying is I wasn't thinking. I mean, all I was thinking was finally my body and everything took over and said, Eric, you have to go eat. You must not sit here any longer. You must get up now and go eat. Now I need a beverage, and I don't have any more beverages here because I drank all my sodas.
But I kind of know what you mean though, casual, because SE is my last function. Number 8.
Yeah, but it's not your. It's 8 in MBTI, but it's not your last in socionics.
No, I don't know much about socionics, so I really don't account for it.
It's your third in socionics. It's the
I
one.
try not to introduce those too much of that socionics or the Model G stuff because it just convolutes it for me, and I'm still just learning about MBTI.
Yeah,
I just want to learn what the functions more so mean, because like the Model G stuff or like the thing that Mega Bro made, it's just like, man, this is complicating my learning experience. I need to streamline it more so. So I just kind of don't deal with that stuff really.
yeah, I know what you mean. I also didn't learn about it. And I'm still learning about socionics, but I didn't start until like I felt like I'm good at MBTI.
Yep. Being able to really internalize like what each cognitive function means and like an example of it or some kind of recollection of how you maybe used it one time or something or how other people display it. I'm very much learning that stuff still.
Yeah, and you also get a reference. So like when you learn about the function numbers or something in socionics, you reference them back to your MBTI because it's
Right.
the first thing you learned. It stays that reference for you.
Like I understand FE and FI really well, I think. Or relatively. I understand NE really well, but I don't really understand NI. I understand TI really well, and I think I understand TE, but I'm and then the S.
And Jay, is how you knew to play that medieval sounding thing when you were looking for a hymn. If you reference what sounds hymn like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you had played like a country thing, I would have adjusted the narrative to match, right? But
Right, of course.
you know, but you went with your conception of him, which was consistent with what I had presented about it before. We're kind of like old schooly.
Gotcha.
Then I upped the old school to match your thing because we're both resonating on the same introverted intuition vision of what that's going to be like, what archetype that is, you know?
Okay. Hold on a second, I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Eric,
Yeah.
you remember when you told me ESFJs? Let me. I've wrote that somewhere. Let me find out what you said exactly.
Yeah. The ESFJs are good for you or do or whatever, and you said no because of results.
No. That yeah, you said ESFJs aren't selfish.
They aren't selfish? Well, they're helpful.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's why you said so. You said like they want to help everybody, so they're the least selfish people.
So what are you asking about?
I don't think so.
You don't think they're selfish or selfless?
I don't think they're selfless.
Well, they're helpful.
Let me tell you why. So they are Fe dominants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are with them and they look like you look like you feel bad, they will also feel bad, right? They want to cheer you up. Like they get hurt for you or something.
Okay.
And so what they do is they try to cheer you up. And they help you, right?
Okay.
So when you see them trying to help you, you think, well, they're helpful people and not selfish and selfless. But I think that they only help you because when you look sad, they feel bad and they don't want to feel bad anymore, so they have to fix you. You know what I mean? Like they go look at this guy, he looks like shit, and then it hurts them.
But what you're saying, Casual, essentially is that doesn't count because they only help you when you need help. Well,
No, that's not what I say.
I know that's not what you said. I'm saying it's equivalent to what you're saying. Because you're saying they only help you when you're sad, and the reason they're helping you when you're sad is because they don't want you to be sad because that makes them sad. I mean, you're the distance away from they're helping you because they're empathetic people, and what you're saying is almost nothing.
No. What I'm saying is they only help you to stop their inner pain and not to help you and not to stop your inner pain.
Well, I think that's a little bit reductive about it. I think it's more complicated than that.
To truly be selfish, to be selfless, you can't exist. If you want to follow that concept to its end.
I mean, the thing is, every act will link to an expression of identity. That's what makes us moral agents. We can't act without taking some sort of action.
Yeah, you're going to have synapse transmission. Like neurotransmitters are going to fire. Like you can't stop them. You can't stop dopamine. Like I'm helping someone, but to truly be selfish, I can't experience any pleasure from this because that means I'm doing it for a selfish reason. So I'm stopping my neurotransmitters from firing in this. You can't do that.
But the thing is,
Impossible.
no matter how we want to link it to ourselves, one way or another, it's either something we're doing, in which case it links to ourselves, or we have nothing to do with it, in which case it's not our problem or something. And so the question isn't to compare the link to a self against no link to a self. The question is to compare the variety of different kinds of links to self and see which ones are more virtuous and which ones are less virtuous.
What was that? It was a nice face.
Yeah,
I think that's an interesting topic because, like, if you follow the concept of selflessness, like, and you just keep cranking up the intensity of it, like, you have to not. I don't know. Like, you can't exist or something like that. You have to not be conscious. So you have to not have brain activity or something like that because you can't do something without it triggering some kind of response within you.
Yeah, but the response that comes afterwards is not what made you do that thing.
This is why we should evaluate morality or ethical behavior according to what you are not supposed to do, not what you're supposed to do. As long as I don't violate other people's rights, then I'm not guilty of wrongdoing per se. It doesn't mean I'm being nice necessarily. It just means that I'm being minimally virtuous.
Yeah, I guess that's more so like a practical application. I guess I was thinking of it like in a vacuum.
Well, the thing is, with so many different choices, like with this spare time, I could be doing lots of different things. And I think this is one of the reasons why people focus so frequently on helping others as a justification for things. Because it's a clear dichotomy you can usually seem to direct towards an activity to determine whether it's worthy of being lauded in some regard. Well, that person may be making a lot of money as a doctor, but he's helping people. He's really helping people, so it's fine. If that doctor may make a lot of money, but he's finding new ways to kill cats more slowly. And then people would be like, they wouldn't say that's a justification. They'd say, and it's this horrible thing, you know?
Yeah.
But helping others is a weird thing to say, whether you're helping somebody or not. Because people have told me on occasion that if I'm talking with other people helpful, I can't really say that's why I do anything. I don't know, maybe, but it's hard to say answer those kind of questions. They're like
You can't actually
questions or something.
you can't actually know why someone does something. So that's like. So my first statement was like impossible to prove or disprove because you can't know why somebody do something. Why that guy is trying to do something, you know?
Right. I had an interesting kind of conversation about this. Like if you commit a selfless act or something like that, you know what I mean? And then if you go and you tell people you know about what you did, do you negate the selflessness of the act? Because essentially you're seeking praise and you see people do this like on social media and stuff like that. They talk about how they paid it forward at the grocery store, or how they gave a homeless dude some money or something like that. And when I see that, I'm like, well, aren't you kind of negating the selfless aspect of that? You're trying to garner some of this praise for yourself.
I feel like it doesn't feel as good if I did something like that, like trying to tell other people about it.
Right. And so essentially, like, if you want to stretch that concept, let's say you give a homeless person some money or something like that. Well, if you really want to be selfless and you don't want to, you want to eliminate the possibility of being praised for it or being recognized again, you'd wear a mask or something like that. You know what I mean? Because selflessness sort of requires anonymity.
I think there's no I think there's no true altruism, because even if you do it and I've done selfless things where I didn't.
You're negating it by telling us about it.
But I still got a little high from it. I still got a little rush from it, because I myself know.
But that you can't avoid that part. But to be as selfless as you can in practicality, I think complete anonymity is required, and complete silence about what you've done is also required.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still not pure altruism then.
No, it's not. But you've gone as far as you can go.
Right.
Obviously,
I don't think Jay's advocating in favor of that either, are you?
In favor of what?
In favor of necessarily being silent about it or hiding your identity of doing something nice?
I would say I mean hiding your identity. I mean that's like a stretch. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to keep a mask with me in public. But I think if I do something nice or something kind of selfless, that I think that I don't think that you should go and talk about it, because I think
I disagree.
like praise-seeking behavior. Of course, you could argue that you might inspire others or something like that, but that's not what it looks like.
No, not that kind of argument.
It's not what it looks like.
Look,
You know what I mean? It looks like you are
that's
like,
an epic
man, I
thing,
can't wait
though.
to get home and type this on Facebook so people will know that I'm such a good guy.
That's an epic thing,
something.
though. And this is why you got to put up shitloads of videos that aren't that, too. Because, look, if I'm going to give money to a homeless person, the reason I'm doing it is because it's contributing to one or more narratives within me. Like, I want to shore up that angle that I'm sort of in the moment empathetic sometimes too, or I just want to experience the feeling of good fortune or something, like experience it via the awful way, which is remember, Eric, remember how tough other people have it, and then go experience that and feel suffering and sort of sympathetic suffering. So for whatever reason I'm doing it, it's contributing to some narrative within me. If I'm telling about it later, I'm telling about it because it's a good story for me to tell. Like the story came out good. It fits in with the narratives well. It has some sort of message to it or whatever.
But it doesn't look good.
But the point being, it's not for the. Is it for your purposes? Possibly. In this regard, I tend to want to justify things that are, because that's how I want to do it, is the answer, as helpful to others to realize that's how it should be done, is my justification. And what I mean by that is, I'm aware of the fact that if you encounter one video that I made a long time ago, where Delilah and I went and gave this girl some sweaters and stuff because she was cold or whatever. It's a video I wouldn't have remembered except for the fact that Mega Bro, I mean, I would have remembered it, but I probably wouldn't have brought it up right now, except for the fact that Mega Bro commented on it a few days ago. And the point of that is, I think most people who watched it, if not everybody watched it, wholly believed the emotion I was presenting, and which was honest, but which allowed me to be excused from that. If you encounter somebody who's genuinely seeming like, wow, this caught me off guard, this experience makes me reflect a lot, and it's not a fake segue into bragging about it, then it's perfectly fine to post about it. But it's really tough to pull that off, right? Because intuitives are going to read it as a safe way to brag about it by another intuitive, unless you have the means and the mechanisms to make it such that it can't be that, which is what having a million fucking videos up allows you to do. I'm not doing that. I'm obviously not doing that, and if you don't agree with me, then you can look at all these other videos. If I were doing that, I make videos about everything, so I can make videos about that too, and not be fucking called on that shit.
But it looks bad, man. It looks bad. It looks
to idiots.
Like you only did it to work.
Self-serving. It.
You don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Neither of you guys have seen this video. You're sure you have correct opinions about it.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm talking in general sense.
I'm not talking in general, though. I'm talking specific. That's the problem, Casual NHP. You're talking in general about the opposite of what my specific example is saying.
All right, never mind.
I think basically, Casual NTP was sort of digressing back.
Now, if you'd like to actually comment upon it, you can go watch the video. Would you like me to link you to it? No, you have no interest at all in watching the video. I know. Welcome home, Casual NTP. Welcome home, Nick. That shit don't fly around here, motherfuckers.
Use your story as an example of what the original topic was about, and what the original topic was about was what Casual was talking about.
Which is what?
How it looks when you expose your acts of kindness.
Topic when? When did that original topic get determined?
When Jay brought it up.
and then we all commented on it, and then you said,
are we defining
"I don't
the,
think
are
Jay
we
really thinks like
arbitrarily
that, does
defining
he?"
the start of the flow there, Nick?
Oh,
Eric is just trying. Eric is trying to promote his video. He wants +1 watch on that video. Give me a watch it. Just give me.
I don't care. I'm just saying, you think you're gonna bring that weak shit up in here? You got another thought coming.
What? What do you mean?
I've been using Crazy Aaron's thinking putty casual ISP. You got no shot.
I honestly don't know what you're saying, man.
yeah, that just didn't make no sense.
Yeah, he's just rambling words. I don't know. I couldn't decipher what he said.
Because either Casual's response was appropriate, or Eric, you have to say that you digressed and you changed the subject, which is fine. It's just that nobody knew that, and it did have a lot of comparison with the last topic.
Yeah, because I answered thinking that we were still talking about the same thing, the same
This
topic.
video has been going on for 40 minutes and 57 seconds, Nick. Now, tell me exactly when the beginning of this subject was.
You can't know because you just keep talking all the time, and you take all the
I
time.
see.
of
So
video.
we're going to back away from the claim you just made and try to sweep up some dust over it. Now it's Eric's fault for talking too much. Good job. Your failure is
Let me,
complete.
Eric,